Welcome to this episode of Toronto Blue Jays Update. Before we dive into what might be the most interesting development of this offseason, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and share your opinion down in the comments because I want to hear what you think about this one. The Toronto Blue Jays are reportedly positioning themselves to steal Cody Bellinger right from under the New York Yankees' noses. And honestly, this might be the most strategic move they could make right now. John Heyman dropped a report late last night that has the Blue Jays listed as one of the main competitors for Bellinger, alongside the Mets and Giants. But here's where it gets really interesting. The Jays just offered Kyle Tucker a massive 10-year, $350 million deal that he turned down. So the question everyone's asking is whether some of that money could now be redirected toward Bellinger. And honestly, when you think about it strategically, this makes a ton of sense. You're not just getting a solid player, you're keeping him away from a division rival who desperately wants him back. The Yankees have made it clear how badly they want Bellinger, but according to multiple reports, they're prepared to walk away if he doesn't accept their offer. Their proposal is reportedly around 5 years, while Bellinger is looking for 6 or 7 years. That gap creates an opportunity for Toronto to swoop in and completely flip the script on New York's offseason. Imagine taking away one of their key targets while simultaneously upgrading your own roster. That's the kind of aggressive move that championship contenders make. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. Is Bellinger really worth the money he's going to command? Probably not if we're being completely honest. Since 2021, he's posted a 105 weighted runs created plus, which is just slightly above league average. Last year with the Yankees, his numbers were heavily inflated by Yankee Stadium's short porch in right field. He had a 909 OPS with a 152 weighted runs, created plus at home, but away from Yankee Stadium, he was actually a below-average hitter. His defense is elite, no question about that. But paying someone $30+ million a year for those offensive numbers seems like an overpay on the surface. But here's where the situation gets more nuanced. Bellinger had an MVP-caliber season not too long ago. We know what his ceiling looks like when everything clicks. With the Cubs in 2023, he posted an 814 OPS, and the year before that, 751. His floor is concerning, especially if he reverts back to what we saw at the tail end of his Dodgers tenure. But his upside is genuinely elite. The Blue Jays love defense, they still need a left fielder, and they're competing in a window right now where every advantage matters. Keegan Matheson wrote in a recent article that the Blue Jays are competing for a World Series right here, right now. While they've had an excellent offseason, another bat is still needed. They've replaced Bichette's production with Okamoto, and you can probably bet on a bounce back from Santander, but to truly raise the ceiling of this lineup and provide insurance, the Jays need to keep pushing. That's exactly what Bellinger would provide. Mark Feinson has also reported that even after recent signings, the Jays would still like to add an outfielder, which explains their heavy interest in Tucker before he went to the Dodgers. Let's talk about how this roster would actually look. Right now, the projected opening day lineup has Santander in left, Barger in center, and Springer in right, with Okamoto at third and Clement at second. That's a solid lineup, probably a B+ overall when you factor in the pitching staff being one of the best in baseball. But you could easily fit Bellinger into this mix, potentially moving pieces around and maybe even trading Nathan Lukes for a bullpen arm, which they desperately need. The flexibility Bellinger provides is valuable in itself. Here's another angle that people aren't talking about enough. This team doesn't have many outfielders under contract beyond this year. Dalton Varsho could be gone. Springer's contract is up. If they don't extend Barger, adding Bellinger gives you a cornerstone outfielder for the next several seasons. Yes, he's 30 years old and a 6-year deal takes him into his mid-30s, but you're also locking down a premium defensive position with a player who has demonstrated MVP upside. The Yankees are reportedly offering 5 years at around $155 million. If Bellinger wants 6 or 7 years at $200 million, maybe the Jays just go ahead and do it. That money earmarked for Tucker isn't directly transferable to Bellinger, since Ross Atkins and the front office have repeatedly said certain funds are allocated specifically for superstar acquisitions. Bellinger isn't quite that tier, but he's close enough where you could justify the investment, especially considering what you're taking away from New York. I've honestly talked myself into this move. Taking Bellinger from the Yankees while getting an undeniably talented player feels like exactly the kind of aggressive, win now, move this team needs to make. The Jays play in the AL East, which means they face the Yankees constantly during the regular season and potentially in the playoffs. Removing a weapon from their arsenal while adding one to yours is smart baseball. Is it risky? Absolutely. Could Bellinger regress? Sure. but the upside and the strategic value make this worth pursuing. The Blue Jays need another bullpen arm. They could still use rotation help, and moves are definitely still coming. I'll keep you updated every step of the way as this situation develops. Let me know down below what you think about Bellinger to Toronto and whether you'd be